I think we're a club that is good because our culture is based on our community, and Nate is a part of that, and and we want him around for as long as possible. And I think what that also says is that we want our younger players to put on the jersey for our first team and play at BMO. We want progression in to see our younger players develop into professionals. And if they develop further and faster, then maybe they move on to something bigger than MLS or LAFC. Time will tell, but Nate is on a very positive path, and we're very proud of what he's done so far and his development. And it's, I think, a great decision for him and for the club to continue this relationship.
What are some of the qualities that you've seen in his time, and the ceiling that he has must be high?
Well, the simple answer is attackers need to be productive, and Nate is productive. He's productive in his goals. He always has been in the youth team, second team, first team. He is, for LAFC, we like to interpret things to be a little more proactive, and so his defensive work as far as pressing and running in behind and his very explosive player is something we look for at this club. And to be able to develop a player from our academy into that in the first team is very helpful for roster building purposes too.
In terms of young player development, how do you think about it in your time here? Obviously, there's a club that wants to win. You rely on a lot of veteran players, a lot of players that you bring in with MLS experience. So giving these younger players time and balancing the side of hey, we won 3 points in championships, how do you see all of that?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's a balancing act. So it's picking the right moments. You want players to play, and you want to set your players up for maximum success. And so you want to put players into situations where they're going to succeed, or the chances that they succeed are greater. And that's what we try to do with all the younger players, whether it's Smoliakov this year has had some great progression, Nate, David Martinez, recently Andy Moran, who's only still 21, turned 22 yesterday. So we're looking to put these players into positions where they can feel comfortable, where they can feel free, and where they can develop into better players. And so far, we've seen a lot of that.
Nate's back. Have all your international departures come back healthy? Everybody's good?
Yeah. The last one to arrive today. Yeah.
Okay.
The Rapids, it's been a tough place for LAFC to play. I mean, we know about the altitude, but what is the other places that make that visiting there challenging? Obviously, you're not going to deal with the cold like you did earlier this season.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some other aspects.
It's just a tough team to beat, and I think you can say that about any MLS team at home. There's a lot of teams that are just difficult to beat, and Colorado's one of them. I think the way Chris interprets the game and what he's done very good at is this team is well organized. They're proactive. They're excellent in transition, and so they create a lot of transition moments, and they create a lot of problems for teams who are disconnected. And when the game gets a little disconnected, that's when Colorado becomes very good and very dangerous. And I think Chris has done a good job of, like I said, putting the game on his terms, and that's the biggest part of our challenge in Colorado. For our players to stay connected, to stay disciplined, stick to our game plan, and if we can, then I do like our chances of winning there.
Playing a team like that, season on the line, you've had a lot of opportunities like that where teams had to play over the last couple of months where they needed a result. How does that come into play with the prep, or is it stick to what you got?
It definitely comes into play, but I have no way of knowing what Chris is doing. Even if I called and asked, I'm not sure. No, I have not. But I'm not sure he would tell me, nor should he. And so, I don't know what the opponent is preparing, and so we have to prepare for all outcomes or all approaches from Colorado, and we've done that.
And final one for me, just the defensive collectiveness. Obviously, Jailson coming in, but being able to either keep a clean sheet or keep the opportunities very low. How have you seen that development? What are the key parts to seeing that uptick, that improvement from your defensive effort?
Yeah, defending and minimizing the attack of the opponent is half the battle, for sure. You still need to finish your chances and create chances. And I think half of that we did pretty well in Austin. We just didn't finish the one or two chances we created, and we didn't create enough. And that's what we're looking to improve on. But our defensive effort over the past 7 games has been phenomenal. And we will not let up there.
Thanks, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Yeah, well, Coach, thank you for your time. Just looking into the playoffs, how do you see the competition in the Western Conference?
It's excellent. There's a lot of teams. I think everybody can beat everybody. And San Diego on any day is very explosive and dangerous and scored a lot of goals. Vancouver has been very complete, even though they've had to deal with some injury issues. They haven't missed a beat. They've made some additions in the summer as well, and it got better. Seattle is always difficult. It's always a solid team. Portland on good days can really hurt you as well. And as we saw last week, if you don't play to your best, a team like Austin is going to beat you too. And I haven't mentioned everybody, but I think all of the teams in the West in the playoffs are competitive, and it should be very exciting.
And how important is getting back those key players like Sonny and Boanga for the playoffs?
Yeah, you can't replace DPs in this league and quality, and those two players are extremely important for us.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Derek.
So compared to other regions in the States, Colorado is placed in the higher altitude, right? So I believe so. The players won't get the altitude sickness, but at the same time, are there any specific different training that you're currently conducting to prepare for the game?
No, you can't. There's not a lot you can do other than go live there for 7 weeks, and we can't do that. So there's nothing we can do. You just deal with it. It's a little difficult at the end of the halves and to start, but we've been there many times, and it does affect it a little bit, but it doesn't affect it enough to where we need to do something in preparation, nor would I ever try to use that as an excuse.
Jarelson gave you 45 minutes. What do you see from the half that he gave you? And he seems to be on the ball very calm, and it has, just from a viewer perspective, like a slowing effect, but sometimes you guys want to play faster. So how does this style integrate with what you guys do?
Yeah, it definitely calms the game down. He's extremely experienced, understands space and time very well, and using his body in tight spaces. So I think we've used him in two ways. We used him to start a game, or used him to finish a game off. I think finishing the game off against Toronto was perfect. I think it had that calming effect on the group. It's exactly what the game wanted and needed, and he found those spots and completely settled the game down for us and took anything that was dangerous out of the equation with the ball. Yeah, in starting a game, it's a little different. It's a little more rapid. There's more challenges. There's less space. There's less time. And so he had to fight for a little bit. But that was important. And how important that will be, we'll find out throughout the rest of the season. But to get him those valuable minutes, because it is somebody who hasn't had a competitive game in a while.
When you talk about him, you make it sound like he can be a key contributor for you, particularly in the postseason. You see him that way, someone who can really come in, make a difference?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Anything in particular about him that lets you believe that?
You looked at him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Big guy. Excellent feet. Can play multiple positions. Good on set pieces. Has played at a very high level in his career, and so there's a lot there to work with.
He can play those 8 roles, though. I think he could pop in there at an 8. Yeah.
More 6 and center back,
Oh, wow.
as opposed to an 8.
We'll move to take questions online. Jim, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Jim Alexander here. Obviously, it seems like every time we do this, a new player is getting re-signed and an announcement with it. In your time here, has there been a focus change sort of recently on re-signing and keeping guys in home? And second part of it is, how hard are these deals to kind of make, especially with some players having potentially other options, maybe overseas or more playing time with other clubs? Are these generally easy deals to complete? And also, has the focus sort of changed into making this sort of a thing?
No, the focus has never changed. Ideally, you work with the same group every year, and you keep adding to that group. That would be ideal. That's just impossible in our league if you are successful. And, we only make changes if we have to. And this year was the first year that we are moving into next year that we don't need to make a lot of changes, and we can bring back a lot of guys. Our financial situation allows for that. But that's always been the goal, and I could imagine a lot of clubs have that goal. It's just very difficult in this league to keep a group together due to the rules and regulations, which we all accept and follow the rules.
Jim, anything else?
Just follow up with that. Are these deals usually hard to make or easier? It seems like the players want to stay here. That's one of the first things they say, and being around the club culture and the city.
I wouldn't say it's easy. I don't think any deals are easy. I think John may be a better person to answer that question, but deals get done. I think players want to stay. I think we have an amazing city. We have an amazing fan group. I think the culture we have here at LAFC is also very welcoming, open, fun to be a part of, and competitive. But there's the financial side of deals that is never difficult, that's never easy to get done, and that's up to the players, their agents, and John.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. I'm super happy to, re-sign and get to stay in LA and to play with this big club. It's definitely one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest in MLS. So I think, it's a lot of pressure, but it's good pressure when you're a forward and, you want to make it to the next level. And yeah, that's my goal, just to get better and hopefully keep moving forward.
And was it an easy decision just to sign the contract and stay here for a long period of time?
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty easy. I think staying at home, with my family here and everybody here, it's not an opportunity that everybody gets to have, where they get to play in their home city or in home state. So I'm super grateful for it.
Ya, por último, ¿cómo está el grupo después de la eliminación, de la derrota en casa en estas eliminatorias, ante un estadio lleno, apoyándolo, intentaron, pero no se logró? ¿Cómo está el grupo?
Yeah, I think we're disappointed, right? Obviously, results don't always go the way we want them to, and that's okay. I'm pretty sure if we win both games, we could still maybe get second, even first if everybody ties out. So I think that's how we have to look at it. Just win the last two games.
On your contract, is it something that you've been talking about throughout the course of the season? How did it come together that you did this extension now?
No, I wouldn't say it was that long of talking, but I don't think it was a short period of time either. I think I've had a good season, so I think that definitely helped ease the decision from John, and yeah, I'm happy that I've played well enough to earn a new one.
Yeah, this season, as you said, it's been a good one for you. Probably not a lot of time to reflect on where you started coming into the year and what your expectations were, but for the ceiling of what you may have felt like I want to accomplish this season, how close are you to where you hoped in the best case scenario you would be?
I mean, I think I'm pretty far off. I have high expectations, but I think, it's better to have high expectations and fall somewhere short that's really good than have mediocre expectations and then, even if you do well, even if you do accomplish those, and it's mediocre at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I always try to overshoot rather than undershoot. So I think I maybe expected more goals, more assists, a lot of things. But if we go win a championship, I'll be happy, and that'll be enough for
Coming
this
back
year.
from international duty, and the team, won one and lost one while you guys were gone. Do you watch those games? Do you have a chance to watch those games? And then how does it feel coming back into the locker room? What you see from your teammates?
Right. I don't watch the full game. I think I watch maybe clips of it just because, you have stuff to do with the national team and everything, but I definitely keep touch with the score and see what's going on. I think everybody's still motivated. Everybody's excited for playoffs. Obviously a win, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. We're just ready for playoffs.
Last one for me. The international window before this one, you came back and you hadn't played for the club. Since then, you went back to El Salvador. Do you feel 100% now? Do you feel like you can step on the field and there's no restrictions for you?
Yeah, I feel ready to go. I think, the games in El Salvador definitely prove that. And, I just have to use it as I don't want to say as training because those games were extremely important, but, referring to LAFC-wise, it shows that I could play, and I'm ready to go.
Hey Nathan, thank you for your time. How does it feel going into the playoffs with players like Boaka and Sonny and you being in that mix?
I think it feels really good. It feels like a confident team, a very good team with superstars and guys that could change the game at any moment. So yeah, it's always like having two aces.
All right, we'll take questions online. Jim, go ahead.
Hey Nathan, congratulations on the contract. It's been a complicated time. Can you discuss about this getting together amongst each other, kind of working out or during training that you want to build a core here, going to the future now, some of the guys have resigned recently, and kind of feel what you're expecting coming in next year with a lot of the same group of guys? You guys have these conversations about it?
I can't hear you. I couldn't hear it. Sorry.
Sorry, Jim. Can you give us 1 second?
Hear me now?
No, we got you. It's just, well, there's some noise here on site.
Uh-huh.
All right, go ahead.
Nathan, congrats on the contract. Do you guys talk amongst each other, like some of the guys that recently re-signed? You're sort of building this core of guys that are going to be here for a long term. Do you discuss kind of doing this together and forming this sort of group that's going to stick around and doing this? And was that part of your reason also of wanting to be here, to sort of build a cohesive unit with guys that are going to stick around?
I don't think it's a in particular thing that you talk about usually. I think it works out well that a lot of the guys are re-signing, and I think everybody that's re-signing. We know how each other play and their movements, and it's definitely going to help in the future because there's no learning period, there's no learning curve, and so yeah, it just makes it that much easier for next year and to start off faster.